ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Armchair Booking Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host. My name is Stunning Steve Barber, and joining me as always is the awesome, delicious Dwaylon Davis.
Hey, everybody.
And all I can say is it's getting ready to be cold where I am, and I have a feeling it's already cold where you are.
Yeah, it's 10 degrees right now.
They're calling for like -5 here tomorrow.
Yeah. Here it's going to be, I think, like -1 or -2.
Yeah. That's that stupid cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still prefer the cold to the heat, though. I can't stand the heat.
Oh,
Once I start sweating, it's over. I'm irritable, and I just
you know what?
going back in the house.
You and my daughter. I mean, she is down in Orlando. Like, but I miss the cold. I'm like, I'll trade you. I'll trade you right now. I will go in there and I will pretend I'm you. And they say we're looking enough alike. You know, I am not gonna shade this. I've been working too hard on this,
Yeah.
on this goatee. But she said I missed the Four Seasons. I'm like, I'll look at a picture. You know, I mean that's it. I mean it's been a long time since I lived in somewhere that was predominantly warm, and but anyway, yeah, since that, good time to record.
Mhm. Yeah.
Perfect day
Yeah.
for it. So, and your internet seems to be going a lot better. So I'm
Yeah.
guessing they took care of that.
Yep. They got that all taken care of. So,
Oh, good. What was it?
they really couldn't tell me, but I had a not so friendly conversation with a couple of people, and they sent somebody out to take a
Oh,
look at it and got it fixed. So,
okay. All right. So I'm not going to say anything about, your choice of who you have because,
well, it's like where our house is, where we live.
oh, that's where
They're the
you don't
only
have a choice.
ones. Yeah, we don't
Oh,
have a choice.
gotcha. So, but I posed a question to you last night
Hmm.
because it kind of hit me, and I haven't been able to really watch like the live product on Raw and SmackDown that often here lately, just because with Christmas, just
Yeah.
been so busy. I was like, has Bray Wyatt even wrestled since he's returned? And you just came back with one word,
Nope.
nope.
Nope. Not
So,
one time. He has not had a single match yet.
uh, so we decided we are going to try this. When will Bray Wyatt actually wrestle again?
Right.
So before we start, I want to go ahead and give our contact and listing info, and I have some news for the wrestling podcast community. But if you would like to email us, it's armchairbookingpodcast@gmail.com. That includes anything, suggestions. If you want to hit us up about advertising, go ahead and hit us up there as well, and we'll see what we can do. If you want to get us on Facebook, it's facebook.com/armchair booking podcast. If you want to get us on Instagram, same thing, at Armchair Booking. On Twitter, it's at Booking Armchair. On TikTok, it's at Armchair Booking. On YouTube as well for video. For audio, just about any audio platform you can think of. If we're not there, let us know. We'll do what we can. Like I said, I'm not going to guarantee it because I haven't had any luck getting us on Pandora.
Right.
But I'm trying. That one's goofy, trying to get it on there. But I'm already on Stitcher.
Hmm.
I already put it on Stitcher, and so I don't get why they don't talk to each other.
Yeah.
But that's their thing. But if you want to order merch, just like the T-shirt I'm wearing, like the T-shirt Dwaylon's wearing, if you notice
Hmm.
on video, you see the color schemes are reversed. But you can get that at tpublic.com/user/armchair-booking-podcast. And you can also find Dwaylon on Twitter at fat_daddy73. And because he is Fat Daddy and his wife is Big Mama, they have their own
Hmm.
social media on TikTok and YouTube. They have their own channel, which they put out videos, including Leighton. That's my son, including Dwaylon. Dwaylon eating a potato chip made out of lava, and and um and also the TikTok and the YouTube, so you can see kind of some of the same videos, but I know there's some things you also keep separate,
Hmm.
and you can also find my other podcast, the Cubicle Chat, also on the same audio platforms. There is no video for that one, but there is audio. And while we are at it, we want to give some shout outs to some podcasts, and and the reason why we're starting this out now is because I heard some bad news today about our good friend Ted.
Yeah.
He actually I had left him a 5-star review on Apple, and I just let him know, hey, when you see this name, it's me. And he's like, oh, cool. Thank you for letting me know. He said, I'm actually good to get off Twitter until the new year. He said, we just lost everything in a house fire.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That's when you message me that, it's like, I mean, I can absolutely sympathize because,
Oh, yeah, I
as
know.
you well know, the same thing happened to me several years ago, and it's just rough. I mean, it's devastating.
Yep.
My heart goes out to him and his family.
Um, I have not seen anything about a GoFundMe or anything like that yet. If I do see that, I will post it. And Ted also he did release an episode. It went out this morning, but
Hmm.
he just made the announcement that, hey, I won't be able to record any new episodes, so I'm just kicking out old ones from the archives. He said,
Hmm.
but because we did have this house fire,
Right.
so they're trying to get settled in. I mean, like you said, you would know. I mean, you all of
Yeah.
a sudden, where do you live? I mean, you got to figure out things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And
And you've got to try to replace everything, and then some things are irreplaceable.
yeah, and because I remember, I think this may be an accurate statement. The only thing you had was the clothes on your back, your car, and the cat.
Hmm. Yep.
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 So, um, fortunately, I was able to have some people donate some stuff up here, and I made the trek
Yep. You sure
down. You were
did.
living in Murray at the time,
Yep.
and so and I'm pretty sure Ted has people,
Hmm.
there where he lives in. I don't know the exact town in North Carolina he lives. But I think it's in Eastern North Carolina somewhere.
Hmm.
Um, but just knowing Ted, you know, he's like the greatest guy ever. So people are going to be,
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
yeah,
Yeah, no doubt.
yeah. So I don't think you're going to have anybody in his town going, that guy. Nope,
Yeah.
nobody likes it. No, I can't see him not being liked. So, but once I find out anything, if there is any kind of GoFundMe's or something similar, I will put it out on. Well, he's only on Twitter. Well, if he even puts it out on Twitter, but somebody will get a hold of us and
Yeah.
put it out. And then I might actually share it on Facebook as well, just to say, hey, somebody in North Carolina just lost everything. Oh my God, that picture on your TV.
Yeah.
I just looked up and all I saw.
I was watching something on Netflix earlier, and so now it's like just the screensavers going.
Oh,
It
that
just shows
popped
different
up.
stuff.
What was that?
I don't even know what that was.
Okay, for those who are on audio, Dwaylen's TV is right behind him, and it does have the screensaver, and it was a TV show, and it popped up, and the dude is like behind bars. All I saw was the face, and it looked like somebody was looking in his window.
Yeah.
It's because the oh, but uh, in other wrestling news, I saw this headline, and I've actually had somebody send it to me. Apparently, somebody broke into Hacksaw Duggan's house.
Yeah, I saw that.
Well, and Hacksaw, he didn't really like somebody breaking into his house, and so he did not find his 2x4. He found his gun, and
Mm,
he held the man at gunpoint until the cops got there.
gotcha.
He probably could have done worse.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hacksaw Duggan's one of those we always hear about is like legitimately tough,
Hmm.
and yeah. So I mean, he's beaten cancer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So um, but yeah,
Like
why would you? Yeah, go
I
ahead.
no, go ahead. It's like, why would you want to break into Jim Duggan's house? It's like,
Yeah,
oh, one other news thing that I saw that I forgot to send to you. Um, WWE firing Mandy Rose has done nothing but help Mandy Rose.
yep,
Mandy Rose is on pace to be a millionaire by Christmas.
yeah.
She's already made $500,000 since from the day of her release till now. She's made $500,000.
And Christmas is only 3 days away.
Yeah. Yep.
So I'm not
So,
gonna. I'll throw out a weird comparison for you. Two Live Crew.
hmm.
When Two Live Crew, when they said, "Oh, we can't," "Oh, we're not going to sell their album,"
Yeah.
it made their album sales
Yes, it
skyrocket.
did. Yep.
And I will say that's a shame because that was not even a great album.
It really wasn't, but it was just everybody. It's
Oh,
kind of like the Mandy Rose thing. It's like
yeah.
everybody wanted to know what's on that album that's making them, want to ban it. Just like with her stuff, it's like, how bad is this content if the company's going to fire her over it? So it's like, plus she was smart enough to capitalize on it too, because the subscription rate
Hmm.
was $20 a month, and she bumped it up to 40, and
There you
people are
go.
still paying for it. So make your money, Mandy.
Yeah. I mean, she's not doing anything illegal.
Nope, not a thing.
I mean, if we find something called bighairyfeet.com, I might have to join that.
We're in there.
I mean, we're there. I mean, yeah, we might make, well, maybe just $40, but hey, I mean, you go, girl. That's the only thing I'm
Yeah,
gonna say. I mean,
yeah.
uh, I'm trying to think any other news. I can't think of any
I
other.
can't think of anything else. It's been fairly slow, surprisingly, I guess, because of the holiday season.
Yeah. Um, but all the other podcasts, I want to give a shout out to the Dow World Order because I somehow forgot them last week, last Monday, and I was like, oh, I felt really bad because those, they're great guys. I've met them in person, and they're actually they do their show live, and they're actually live right now.
Oh, okay.
So they also go live on Sunday nights at 9 o'clock Eastern.
Hmm.
So I've actually been able to catch some of their live shows on YouTube
Oh,
on
okay.
Sunday. I just can't do it on Thursday because, well,
Yep.
we're recording.
Yep.
Maybe one day I could talk them into we'll do like a joint thing on Thursday where they'll be live and we'll be live with them, but we'll be recording the ours, they'll be recording theirs. That's going to
Right.
be a kind of a trick.
Yeah.
Um, and Wrestling with the Truth, by the way, they want to give them a shout out because we had a lot of fun on their show, and
Hmm.
um, I can't say enough good about those guys. I mean,
Right.
that was
Yeah.
just um, just a lot of fun. The Wrestling World podcast with Austin Boyer. I don't mention him enough. I mean, he runs solo, and I mean, he does a great
Cool.
job. So non-wrestling podcast. There's one I have been literally binging for the past few days called Hooked on Movies. I've actually mentioned it before.
Hmm.
I heard about them because one of their guys was on Wrestling with the Truth, and I said, "All right, let me go check them out." And I have listened to about 10 of their shows, 11 over the past couple of days, because they do movie reviews, and so I
Yeah.
mean, and I'm going, okay, I know that movie, I know that. I mean, um, a lot of them, most of them are well-known movies,
Hmm.
um, but I mean, they're older. Sometimes they're older. They'll focus on like one director or one series because
Right.
they did like Rocky 1, 2, and 3 together. They did I'm trying to think I have to go to their Apple page, which by the way, I also left them a 5-star review. So hopefully they'll be reading that one as well. By the way, and that's actually something else. If you leave us a 5-star review, we will read it on the air.
Yes, we will.
Yep, because we've done it,
Hmm.
and so far no new ones. That makes me sad. Um, but let me go see. There's a director. Oh, Kubrick. They actually did some of his movies, including Clockwork Orange, Full Metal Jacket.
Hmm.
Um, let me see. That for Halloween they did um The Exorcist, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, The Haunted
Oh,
Palace.
okay.
They did a series about Quentin Tarantino. Um, let's see, a love story gallery where they had like Love Actually, which
Hmm.
I'll admit I actually like that movie. Um, Christmas Vacation, which I have not listened to that one yet, and I haven't watched it yet this year, which means I'm due. Um, but they did Say Anything. Did sing, Cameron Crowe that did his movies. Kevin Smith,
Right.
Rob Reiner. Um, who is Martin Scorsese? They did Wolf of Wall Street.
Ah, okay.
See, I know you're going to go look now.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Richard Donner. That's the one I was trying to think of. Richard Donner because he did The Omen, Goonies, Maverick. So oh, but yeah, I mean, just that's when I've been listening to that. I've listened to a lot of their episodes over the past few days. So, but yeah, go check them out. and also True Crime Cast and Bless Their Hearts with Jamie and John. We might have at least one of them on the show. I'd like to have both of them on the show here pretty soon. We're trying to get something scheduled with them.
Mhm.
And the Mixtape Podcast. And can you think of any more to give shout outs that I'm missing?
No, not that I can think of right now. There's so many
Huh.
good ones out there.
There are. I mean, and yeah, so I mean, I just got to give all these, folks credit because I mean they've actually shouted us out,
Hmm.
in the past. So or recommended people come listen to us, or had one or both of us on their show, and it's a great big community, and that's another reason why we all gotta support Ted, because Ted is really the glue
Absolutely.
for this big network, and everybody will acknowledges that. They all mention
Yeah.
Ted. They're like, yeah, he's the, we've met this other podcast through Ted, and we did this because of Ted. We got influenced by Ted, and so, but yeah, he did ask, for definitely thoughts and prayers and good vibes heading their way because, once again, I mean, they lost everything in a house
Hmm.
fire, so
It's terrible.
and like Dwaylen can tell you, I mean, he unfortunately knows what that's like.
Yeah.
So, and I will mention one other thing real quick before we um start. You also know what it's like to have to run towards a train because the train's about to hit your car.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Sure do.
Yep. And wasn't that like the weekend or 2 weekends after I was cruising around with y'all in that same car with the
Hmm.
same people?
Yep. Yep.
And I was probably supposed to be with y'all that night, and I didn't for whatever reason.
I think you were, and something that come up, and you couldn't go out that night. I don't know what came up, but yeah, you were supposed to hang out with us that night. Yeah,
Yeah, and well, poor James.
I know.
Um, yeah, so I'm just all I'm trying to say is Dwaylen might be bad luck if you're around him. I'm not sure. So,
Maybe I don't know.
oh, but no, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't. If I actually thought you were bad luck, I probably wouldn't hang around you
Right,
even
right.
now. So, but all right, on to Bray Wyatt. He returned to WWE at Extreme Rules on October 8th.
Hmm.
It is now December 22nd.
Yep.
2
And he
months
is,
and 2 weeks.
and he has not wrestled 1 minute. He has not had 1 minute of ring time since he returned.
He stepped inside the ring.
He stepped inside the ring, but he hasn't worked a match at all. And
I don't get it.
it's and at first it was cool seeing him back and all this. He cut a few promos, and then he kept cutting promos, but they didn't go anywhere. And it's like we've been down this road with Bray Wyatt before,
Hmm.
where you cut an excellent promo, but the words are hollow because it doesn't go anywhere.
Right.
And now he's feuding with LA Knight, and they've got the Uncle Howdy thing going, and it's like, personally, I'm already tired of it. I just need to see what's going on, and can we have Bray Wyatt actually wrestle, since it's what you hired him back to do in the first place?
Hmm. I mean, if he's still injured,
There's the guy
just
again behind
there's the guy again. Yeah. What,
me.
what is that? Killer something released?
um, I Am a Killer released. It's a Netflix series.
Ah, okay. Anyway, yeah. Speaking of Bray Wyatt,
Yeah,
because that's what it's very similar. So if he's injured, just somehow say he's injured. But I mean, it kind of reminds me of when Sting didn't wrestle for a year. He would just make those appearances as the
yeah,
Crow.
yeah. It was like a year and a half that he didn't wrestle, and it's like
Yeah,
I even got tired of that. It's like after a while, it's like,
yeah.
okay, when's he gonna wrestle? Where's this going?
And then when he finally did wrestle again, it was at Starcade '97.
And the match was garbage.
Yeah,
Sting
because
wasn't in, Sting wasn't in ring shape. Hogan played politics as usual.
mhm.
Nick Patrick messed up the count. It was supposed to fast count it, and
It's
he
supposed
did
to
a
be
regular. Yeah,
yeah,
and he did a regular pace count. It was just a cluster, and all that build up and all that time everybody invested in, like, Sting and Hogan are going to finally clash, and then it's like,
And then he said something to the camera in Spanish after it was over, which confused everybody.
mm-hmm.
It's like what? Huh?
Yeah,
You
it's like,
know?
but like
Uh,
with Bray Wyatt, it's like he's in a feud now with LA Knight. That's fine. LA Knight, great talker. He's good in the ring. Good, good first feud back for Bray to kind of get his feet wet again in WWE. But it's like, I feel like LA Knight's doing all the heavy lifting. He's cutting the promos and he's calling Bray Wyatt out, and then he's getting mysteriously attacked backstage, and then Bray's saying that he didn't do it, and then again, Uncle Howdy shows up and nobody knows who that is or why this person is even around.
right.
We don't know if it's supposed to be a manifestation of one of Bray Wyatt's personalities, if it's a completely separate thing altogether. It's like we have no clue. There's been no explanation. They just keep throwing things at us on the screen, expecting us to just figure it out. And it's like wrestling fans are pretty smart, but the details have to be there. And
Hmm.
there's nothing with this comeback or this feud that tells me anything of where they're going with Bray Wyatt long term.
And I mean, trying to figure out who is behind the mask of Uncle Howdy, it is a little intriguing,
Mm-hmm.
but I still want to see Bray Wyatt wrestle
Yeah.
because Bray Wyatt, yeah, the character. I mean, you can say Bray Wyatt was almost the complete package as far as a
Oh
wrestler
yeah,
goes. I mean,
definitely.
great image, great skills,
Yeah.
uh, big dude who can move,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Just, ring presence, charisma,
yeah,
mic skills, everything. He talked and literally held everybody in his hand.
yep,
And people
he-
hung on every word he said. And they're even incorporating Alexa Bliss into it. The butterfly thing will flash on the
yeah,
screen wherever she is, and her personality will shift to, you know, the old one when she was under Bray Wyatt's influence. And it's like, honestly, that's more interesting than what they're doing with Bray Wyatt, because at least you kind of see where that's going.
yep,
It's like the switch back and forth, and then it's like she doesn't always realize what she's done when the personality switched. And that's actually more interesting because at least there's a story there. With Bray Wyatt, it's like there's still no story. Even with the feud with LA Knight, there's no story. There was no reason why
yeah.
they were
It,
feuding in the first place.
yeah, I mean, yeah, give us a reason why
Yeah.
they're feuding
I
instead
mean,
of
even if
just.
it's a flimsy reason, can I get something? So, you know,
I mean, he could say, you're from Hagerstown, Maryland, which what they call it the first night he was back,
uh
Hagersville,
Hagersville, yeah.
Hagersville, and I texted Kyle. I was like, "Hey, dude, they just said Hagersville, Maryland." He's like, "What?" And
What?
yeah, because in case you didn't know, Kyle lives in Hagerstown,
Hmm.
and yeah, he was just I could see him even through the text messages, just kind of shaking his head,
Yeah.
you know. And speaking of Kyle, he's sent. I need to look at this video. It's him wearing the Grinch stuff, and I have just been with Christmas and everything. I
Hmm.
need to actually sit down and watch it because I want to show it
Yeah.
on the podcast because I told him I actually asked him, hey, can I show on the podcast? And so I need to actually get it and show it.
Right.
So um, but yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing that. But yeah, because Kyle's actually everybody knows he was the former co-host, but he's also been very supportive of the
Yep.
podcast since.
Absolutely.
And he's been on, and we are looking to have him on again as well here, hopefully in the next few weeks. We got a project we're working on, and um, I wanted Kyle to be a part of that, and there's a few
Hmm.
other people that we're working on a series, something new for us.
Yeah.
We've done a group discussion, or how you want to call a panel show.
Hmm.
I wouldn't mind having another one of those.
Yeah.
I mean, just we are, and we'll talk about this like next week or the week after, kind of how we're moving,
Hmm.
stuff we want to look forward to. Um, and next week, and also kind of looking forward real quick, next week, I'm going to guess we are probably going to do like a year end review.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So I mean, it's lame duck week, so might as well
Yeah.
look back. And we won't be recording Monday. We already decided that because Mondays is a family day.
Hmm.
It Christmas is on a Sunday, so everything kind of shifts to Monday.
Yep.
And just everybody just kind of take a break, sleep in,
Yes, just kind of decompress
and eat all the
uh
candy Santa brought you.
yeah,
And
yeah.
not me and Dwaylen, we can't eat as much because diabetes and all.
Diabetes.
Diabetes. I didn't call it the diabetes,
Yeah.
but anyway, he, but with the Uncle Howdy character, I'm just also curious. Okay, I am kind of wondering who it is. And I think the two biggest names that people are saying are Bo Dallas, who is Bray Wyatt's brother,
Hmm.
and in real life, his brother, and Dutch Mantel is the other one,
Yeah.
which I could see either one, and I'd be okay with either one.
Oh yeah.
Because Dutch Mantel, it actually makes sense because Dutch Mantel, he was always able to play kind of a greasy looking
Yeah. Yeah.
hillbilly character, and he was able to pull it off, even though people don't realize how smart Dutch Mantel
Oh yeah,
is.
just a brilliant wrestling mind. And yeah, especially like younger fans just have no clue, you know, how brilliant he was.
Yep. And he was one of those. He didn't have a lot of titles,
Mm-mm.
but he was not. I don't think he really needed the titles to get over.
No, no, he was one of those few that just he was kind of in that category that Jake Roberts was in, where he didn't need a championship to be the biggest star in the promotion.
Exactly. Uh, but like you said, I just want to know. I mean, they can't stop the feud now. We,
No, because it's like they've already they've already invested all this time into it. Plus, Vince McMahon's not there anymore, so this will actually have a conclusion, I'm sure.
yeah.
Because if Vince was notorious for like, oh well, this isn't getting over. I know it's only been 2 weeks, but it's not getting over, so we're just going to drop it and not explain anything.
I mean, now the long term booking, I'm okay with it because
Hmm.
we've been saying they need to book
Yeah.
the feuds long term.
Yes.
But the feud without action is just going to stagnate because people are going to go, oh,
Hmm.
here they go again, doing another promo,
Yeah.
and
And
then nothing.
then nothing. It's like he cuts the promo. There's some Uncle Howdy shenanigans, and then everything goes black, and then we just move on to the next to a match with somebody else. So just makes no sense. I just don't. I don't
Yeah,
understand. And like we were saying, like when will he wrestle again? And it's like I don't see them wasting that on SmackDown, especially not this time of year because this is like this is dead time for pro wrestling right
yeah.
now. It's like it's the holidays, everybody's trying to enjoy their family and all that. Think once the first of the year comes around, things start ramping up toward the Rumble. Maybe we'll get that match at the Rumble. I
What day is
just
the Rumble on? Let me look.
I just don't I don't really know. It's really hard to predict. Hold on just a second.
Sorry about that. We had a
Yeah,
slight pause. So if you're looking at us and we're like all of a sudden different positions than what we were
yeah,
just a second ago, well,
yeah.
um,
I had some technical difficulties I had to fix real quick before it messed with my internet. So, but
if it was me, I'm
everything's
pretty
good
sure
now.
if it was anything like me, my foot would have caught the cable, and I've done things like that. Uh, yeah, nothing like tripping over a couple $1,000 fiber cable for one of our
Yeah,
big pieces of equipment, and it got caught in the heel of my like under the heel of my boot. Like the one
yeah.
space,
Hmm.
caught and ripped it out. Thankfully, we had a spare. I was like,
No, that's good.
yeah, because I didn't want to get blamed for that one.
Right.
But anyway, so the Rumble is on the 28th of January, so still over a month away. I hope
I hope they don't
they.
drag it out this long. But then again, maybe they'll wait till after the first of the year and have it on SmackDown. You know,
or at least have like a run in. Show
Yeah.
don't say, well, we think Bray dressed up like Howdy Doody and attacked him in the back. I
Yeah.
mean,
I'm just like I said, I just don't know where they're going with it. And it's like long-term booking is good if the story's been, the story's been told good, the steps are there, but this doesn't feel that way. It feels like it's just we're going to throw these two guys together, see if they have any chemistry, but not have them wrestle each other.
and I mean, there might be a reason because with Sting, he was hurt at
Yes.
first.
Yes.
And that was just well, Sting's depressed. Now he's going to go in the Rafters. And
yeah. And then he also got accused of being in the NWO because the NWO had their version of Sting and
yep.
Nobody was trusting him. So he's like, I'm done. And then, he starts looking like the Crow, which was Scott Hall's idea, by the way. That was
very good idea.
Yeah, that was Scott Hall's because Sting was wanting to change up his look. And he's like, have you seen the movie The Crow? So he had Sting watch it, and he's like, that's what you should do.
Yeah, just the first Crow. Don't watch the rest of them.
No,
just the
never
first
watch it.
That,
no, if Brandon Lee's not starring in it, do not watch it because the rest of those are terrible.
Yeah, the first Crow movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
excellent.
First Crow movie is fantastic.
Great soundtrack.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, it was.
Yeah.
You can't rain all the time.
No, exactly. Exactly.
And if you watch the movie, you'll know what we're talking
understand.
about. But anyway, and Ernie Hudson's in it.
Yep. Yes, he is.
One of the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Ernie Hudson.
Exactly. So anyway, but yeah, Sting. I mean, he was hurt, and so they had this thing. Well, he's mad. He's going to go and kind of sulk in the rafters.
Mm-hmm.
But occasionally, he would come down with a bat, and he would like
beat the crap out of the NWO. Yeah,
and then go. At least we had that.
Yeah.
But right now with Bray, I mean, they need to figure out something because right now it's just wasting his time. It's wasting our time watching it. Mm-hmm. Wasting LA Knight's time because LA Knight, they pulled him out of Maximum Male Models. Thank God.
Yeah, because speaking of wasting, that was truly a waste of his talent.
Yeah.
That whole gimmick was just so dumb.
Well, it's a waste of all their talent. But,
oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because we've seen them go. And actually, who is the guy? He was one of the 24/7 people, but he used to be in Cirque du Soleil.
And he does Reggie.
He should be in the Maximum Male Models if they're going to keep that going.
He is in NXT under some ridiculous gimmick, and he's wearing this stupid mask and everything, and it's like, I don't know.
The man, he's
Shawn
another
Michaels
one.
Messed up with that one.
Oh, because I don't remember who he did. They have him with Nia Jax for a little bit.
Yeah, he started out with Carmella, and then he was with Nia Jax for a while, and then they had the whole thing with Dana Brooke and all that. But yeah.
Yep. Okay, that's right. Because I remember when he was going, I'm like, man, this dude.
Yeah.
He does more aerial stuff than like Ricochet, and he was a lot smoother than Ricochet, which is saying something.
Yeah.
Because Ricochet, I mean, he does his moves; they're pretty crisp. But Reggie was just, I mean, he looked like it was just natural as walking to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked him up, and they said he was a Cirque du Soleil. I'm like, yeah.
That checks out. Yeah.
Yep. And I would like to see him more, but if he's in NXT and they're putting him on a mask, I'm like, what are you doing? What have you been doing? I mean, maybe put him as part of the Wyatt family. I don't know, but that'd be kind of a weird mix, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'd just like to see some semblance of the Wyatt family reform. Because like you said, they've already kind of shown more likely Miss Bliss is going to be rejoining him.
Yeah.
As long as she doesn't have that crap where it looked like somebody cracked an ink pen over her head and it just
started. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that just looked gross. Like, hey, let's get a bunch of road tar melted.
Yeah, and just it's like,
yeah.
I don't mind heel Miss Bliss at all. I don't mind creepy Miss Bliss at all. But yeah, that was doing a little too much.
Yeah. Because I'm not a huge fan of the supernatural gimmicks. I mean, if they go like too far with them because of
Yeah.
like, okay, I know we're supposed to suspend this, suspend disbelief,
Yeah.
but come on.
And like that only works in certain cases. Like, of course, The Undertaker, it worked.
Right.
Kane, it worked. Um, Papa Shango, it worked because,
To a point.
to
Yeah.
a point, he was supposed to be, the type of voodoo priest, and that
Yeah.
kind of stuff is supposed to
I like
happen. So,
I liked him better as Soul Taker, but I'm just
oh, did you?
before Papa Shango, yeah, because
Yeah.
I'd seen him in Global as Soul Taker,
Hmm.
and then it came in Papa Shango. I'm like, no, that's the dude that was a Soul Taker.
Yeah,
He
his
was
most popular gimmick was the Godfather, but my favorite gimmick was Papa Shango. I
yeah.
liked the look and just, he made sure everything was creepy.
Okay, yeah, he was creepy. And then he honked up the run in at WrestleMania 8.
He missed his whole cue. Sid had to kick out of the leg drop, and yeah, that
And
was just a
yeah,
mess.
yeah. And if you notice, his push kind of dropped all of a sudden
Oh
after that.
yeah, yeah, it tanked after that.
Oh yeah. But anyway, um, I don't know. I mean, I can't think of a direction. I mean, and we're trying to armchair book this.
Yeah,
I I cannot honestly think. Okay, where can they go? Okay, is it they're going to have a match eventually, but the Rumble is still over a month away.
yeah. And the Rumble is, that always begins the road to WrestleMania. I don't see these two, you know, wrestling each other at WrestleMania. So it would be kind of pointless to have them on the Rumble card because it's not going to go long term to the biggest show of the year. Usually everything with the Rumble pushes everything forward to
Right.
WrestleMania. So they've got to do this on SmackDown.
Soon.
My opinion is they need to do it and get it over with so that both these guys can move on to something better because this right here is not working.
No. And I know LA Knight, he's actually been wrestling the matches, but
Yeah, he's been
so
wrestling matches, but Bray has not wrestled a single match.
and who's the face, who's the heel? Because I know people are cheering Bray, but he's doing kind of heel like stuff.
Yeah, and then LA Knight is like antagonizing Bray, like slapping him in the face and all this stuff, and it's like, so is he the heel or is Bray the heel? It's like I know every now and then they kind of blur the lines, which is fine, but this isn't blurring the lines. This is just confusion. Like they don't know who's playing which role.
And it does make me kind of wonder also because everybody's been clamoring for Bray to come back for what, a year,
Hmm.
or so since he was released, because VKM didn't understand the character. It's like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
had him as your character for 5 years. How did you
yeah.
not understand?
How do you not understand? Just watch NXT and let him do that. That's all he had to do. He
Yeah.
didn't have to. They didn't have to change anything with Bray Wyatt or the Wyatt family as a whole. Let them do what they were doing on NXT because it was working.
Nope, couldn't do it because he didn't understand them. Yeah, but
Hmm.
you know who did understand them? The fans.
The fans, yeah.
Yeah, the people who were paying to watch them.
Hmm.
There are people who are buying their merchandise. The people who are buying the network or before that buying the pay-per-views to
Hmm.
watch him. I mean, he was getting main event matches, but Vince didn't understand it.
Yeah,
Anyway, it's like, do you not remember Waylon Mercy? Remember that crap?
exactly. Yeah,
I mean, this was Waylon Mercy ish.
yeah. Which was one
No,
of Vince's creations. So I don't understand how he doesn't know or didn't understand the character. It's like they're pretty much the same. They're both taken from Robert De Niro's character in Cape Fear.
yeah, I mean, this was Waylon Mercy and the old Cactus Jack
Yeah,
before. Yeah,
exactly.
exact. I
Yeah,
mean,
that is a perfect blend. That perfect comparison. Yeah, but
yeah,
but but Vince didn't understand it, and didn't know what to do with it.
but now we have Uncle Howdy, sort of. We still don't know what the deal is with that, and it is starting to get annoying. And Bray Wyatt's been one of my favorites for a while, but he still has to wrestle
Hmm.
because if you keep not wrestling, well, I'm gonna have to move on.
Yeah,
You
exactly. It's
know,
like you're not keeping my interest. You can only cut promos for so long without the in-ring work, unless you're a manager. Now, if you're a manager, that's a different
yeah,
thing. you're Paul Heyman or back in the day, Bobby Heenan, Jimmy Hart, guys like that, that's different. That's a manager. They're talking is their only job.
Yeah,
Talking and interfering in the match on behalf of their client is
yeah.
their only job. But if you're,
Passing on brass knuckles, hitting him with a
yeah,
chair,
yeah, megaphone, whatever you got to do.
whatever.
But as a wrestler, you can only cut a promo for so long before you've got to back up those words in the ring.
Hmm. Because even the most hardcore Bray Wyatt fans are going to go, dude, you're breaking my heart here. I want to see you in the ring.
Well, that's like his first run. I'm a huge Bray Wyatt fan. But toward the end of that run, it was just like it's pointless. He cuts an amazing promo, but then they book him to lose every match. So it's
Every
like,
single
what is the point?
the only pay-per-view I can think of where he won was actually the first pay-per-view I watched him on, and that was the Rumble in 2014 where he went against Daniel Bryan.
Mm-hmm. And he won against John Cena at Extreme Rules when they had their trilogy of matches.
Okay.
But he lost the WrestleMania match with John Cena, which he should have won.
Mm-hmm. Should have won.
He won the cage match only because the interference of the creepy kid on the outside distracted John Cena, and then Bray was able to beat him. Then John just murdered him in the final match, the last man standing or falls count anywhere, whichever one it was. They had John Cena just definitively beat him. So it's like, and they did the same thing with the Undertaker, and it's like you can't build him up as a credible main event guy and then just feed him to these other guys to make them look good. Even when he won the WWE Championship at Elimination Chamber, which I was extremely excited about, then they put him in that nothing feud with Randy Orton and have him drop the title at
Oh,
WrestleMania.
and that match was,
Boring, very
and
boring.
wasn't that the one that started out with it was it was, what do they call it now, like a cinematic match where they,
Yeah, yeah, that was the actually no, the WrestleMania match was where they kept flashing all the bugs and stuff on the mat.
yeah, the maggots on. It's like,
Yeah. And
ew.
then he drops the title to Randy. Then at the next pay-per-view, they have the cinematic match you were
This,
talking
okay,
about
yeah,
where it was like the House of Horrors or something like that. Um, but there was no championship on the line. So Bray never even got his rematch for the title. He didn't win
and
another he didn't win another championship until he became the Fiend and won the Universal Championship twice, which he didn't need at either time because the Fiend
it was over.
was over and didn't need the championship because once you put a championship on somebody, eventually they have to lose it,
They have to
which
lose it,
means you make this unstoppable force lose, then you take away all the mystique.
and to have him job out to Goldberg, who
Yeah,
nobody wanted to see win a title again,
yeah,
because Goldberg was, I mean, he was one of the biggest characters in wrestling.
yeah.
You know, he was,
For his time, but
yeah,
that time, you
is
know,
gone.
yeah.
And I also didn't like how they changed the belt to the Fiend belt. I don't like the personalized belts like that. I just,
I like certain personalized belts, but that one was just terrible. It was
yeah.
just that one was just ugly.
Uh, that one I've already said I didn't like the wooden belt for Daniel Bryan. Um,
I didn't really like how it looked, but it made sense with the character he was portraying at the time.
yes, it
It worked with
that part
what
I
he
will
was
agree
doing.
with. Yeah,
Yeah, it worked with what he was doing. I just didn't care for the look of the belt. I did like the smoking skull belt. I've liked it when like the Ultimate Warrior would change the color, the
I mean,
strap
now that's one
color.
thing. If they change the
Yeah,
strap color, okay, it's
yeah,
still the belt itself.
yeah.
I was not a fan of the spinner belt. Um,
I was in the beginning, but they kept it too long.
yeah,
Like I
and
used to have a replica of that belt, and for the time it worked. But the problem was that belt only worked for John Cena.
right,
Anybody else who held that belt, it looked ridiculous. CM Punk,
and
Triple H, Sheamus, anybody who held that belt that wasn't John Cena, because it fit John Cena's gimmick perfectly.
right at the
But it
time,
at the time,
yeah,
but it looked ridiculous on everybody else.
And although I do want to say, I wanted to see Chris Rock look at it, go, "Hey, you got the spinners, they spinning,
They spinning.
they spinning." And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, go watch Chris Rock stand up.
Yep.
But where the man said, "That tiger didn't go crazy, that tiger went tiger."
Exactly.
Anyway. But I didn't forgot where I was going with this. I'm telling you, I'm just losing my mind. You know, we did a Christmas show, Christmas movie episode on Cubicle Chat,
Mhm.
and we totally forgot Home Alone. Both of us did.
Ah,
And I also watched A Christmas Story Christmas a couple hours before we recorded, just because
mhm.
I'm like, all right, I'm going to see the new one. It's okay.
It's like,
The original Christmas Story is a classic,
Mhm.
but
Yeah, it's a classic. I'm not a fan of the original Christmas Story, but it is a classic.
it is a classic. I
Yeah.
mean, um, you know, now I mean, granted, there's some things I kind of tear apart, like you know, his dad, you know, appears to be more like he's holding to be his granddad because you know there's a 17-year age difference between
Yeah.
the two people playing the mom and dad.
Yeah.
But like I said, it was okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, but yeah, we totally forgot Home Alone, which is a Christmas movie. And I will
Mhm.
say, just for the record, I will say Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. It is a movie set at Christmas.
We'll just have to agree to disagree, but
Yeah. You know,
my
just like our color scheme on our shirts are
yeah, see,
opposite.
yeah,
I
see,
mean,
Hope agrees with you. She says Die Hard's not a Christmas movie.
now it is a great movie. I love watching it. I just can't because they don't. There's nothing. They don't really. The only thing about it with Christmas even related is they're having a Christmas party at the office. That's
See,
about it.
there you go.
Yeah, I
That's all you
mean
need.
that's about it.
It's whimsy, but that's all you
Die
need.
Hard 2 was also based at Christmas time. Was that a Christmas movie?
No, because it sucked. That movie.
I like Die Hard 2.
I like the first one. I like the third one. That's it. I don't
The
like the
third,
second. I don't like the second one because I just felt like it was just a rehash of the first one. And then,
yeah, it was Die Hard Airplane.
yeah, exactly. Instead of him being in, this skyscraper, he's in a plane. But it's the same. It was the same thing. Like my favorite one is Die Hard 3 because him
That
and
one is
Samuel
good.
L. Jackson worked well together.
That and every time I see you always see the riddle of you have a 5 pound jug, you have a three
Yeah.
pound jug. How do you get, you know, or
Uh-huh.
gallons? Sorry, five
Yeah.
gallon, 3 gallon. How do you get 4 gallons?
Yeah.
I still remember it from watching that movie.
Mm-hmm.
That get off the phone, lady. Police
Yeah.
matters. Because they've been in 3 movies. Yeah,
Yeah.
or no, 3. Die Hard 3,
Die Hard 3,
Pulp
Unbreakable.
Fiction. Oh,
Yeah.
Unbreakable. I forgot about Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pulp Fiction, Unbreakable, and Glass.
Oh, Glass. Yeah, I forgot about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one. The sequel to Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, anyway, since we just got derailed talking about
Yeah.
movies because
Yeah.
I totally lost my train of thought. It's been a kind of a busy week trying to to
It's
deal with
been a
my
long month.
car. Oh, let's see, with my car having to go into the shop, got it
Hmm.
out, and like I said, I had my credit cards paid off, but had until I just had to drop. It was about $1,200 to
Yeah.
But I got a new battery, I got new tires, I got some new brake pads. My wife's Facebook account was hacked,
Yeah.
like hijacked last Friday, and because one of her cousins' account had gotten hijacked, well, the hijacker sent Tawana a message
Hmm.
and said, "Hey, what's your phone number? I need to add to my trusted contacts." Well, Tawana's thinking it's her cousin.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, she started getting text messages from somebody saying, I hacked your account. Do you want it back?" And all of a sudden, Tawana tried to get it, and she could not get into her own account.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, and she's panicking because she has her business,
Hmm.
going through that account,
Yeah.
her travel agent business. And I mean, and she's like beyond upset. I mean, she is,
Oh, yeah.
just absolutely livid. She'd managed to recover it,
That's good.
and
Excuse me.
because she contacted Facebook, and they had to go through a verification process.
Hmm.
It involved her sending a picture of her driver's license to prove she was
That person. Yeah.
that person. And because whoever it was, they had changed the email address.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, everything. So she managed to get it back. Her cousin still has not, even though I'm pretty sure it's Tawana, because her cousin actually created a different account.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Tawana's told her, here's what you got to do. And I guess her cousin hasn't done it. But that's why I also tell people, don't have a cute name as your name. I mean, I get people do that,
Mm-hmm.
but if something like that happens, good luck trying to recover your account.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, it's just been that kind of weird week. And, and Tawana's also been very sick.
Mm-hmm.
And we had something happen the other day. Her mom freaked out because she wasn't answering her phone, and she called me, and I said she's probably asleep because she didn't get any sleep last night, so she's probably asleep now.
Mm-hmm.
So she's probably just sleeping through her, her phone ringing. I said she's
Yeah.
done it before if she's that tired, and
Mm-hmm.
she puts earplugs in. So my mother-in-law sends my sister-in-law over anyway to try to knock on the door, try to wake her up, and she couldn't get her. She still went to the door. So my sister-in-law basically broke in our house.
Huh?
Yeah, she broke into the house and was like, yeah, she broke in this one room, but she couldn't get past this one door, which is like bolted down.
Right.
And so Tawana woke up and heard her, and she's like, what are you doing? And she talking about, her stepdad, was talking about coming over and busting the door down. I'm like, you bust down the door of my house, even though I
Yeah.
told you she's
Exactly.
asleep. Yeah, so there was a little bit of tension.
I
Everything's kind of
bet.
calmed down now, but
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you break down the door of my house, and then just kind of, oh well,
It's okay. It's
no,
whatever.
yeah, you won't be coming back over here.
Right.
You wouldn't have us over there either. I mean, that'd be,
Mm-hmm.
but we're going over to their house for Christmas Eve. That's what we usually
Mm-hmm.
do. And my nephew is in town. He's in the Marine Corps. He's actually in
Hey,
town right now.
there
So
you go.
at least I get to see him.
Yeah.
And he's like all kinds of jacked up. There's a video of him benching. I want to say it's like 450, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah, I mean, um, yeah, that's just crazy. But I'm gonna tell him, you know what? I'll take him to a wrestling event
Excuse me.
and have Roger Ruffin take one look at him and go,
It's like, hey,
come, hey,
I can work with that. Yeah.
yep. Um, but anyway, but it's still not going to cure what the heck is going on with Bray Wyatt.
No, I just don't know where they're going, and I've already lost interest, and it's just morbid curiosity of what they're going to do.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm not invested anymore, but I need to know how this ends.
Yes. We really need to know how
Yeah.
it's going to
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was so excited when Bray Wyatt came back, and here it is, 2.5 months later, and he still hasn't wrestled.
No. He's still basically in the same spot he was in when he first got back.
And I'm pretty sure we are not the only people who are kind of wondering this.
Oh no.
Uh,
No, I'm sure a lot of fans are wondering because again, we're wrestling fans first. And as
mhm.
fans, it's like we just want to see where the conclusion of this.
And I mean, we're about to call ourselves experts anyway, because as I discovered the other day, we're on IMDb.
Mm-hmm.
The Armchair Booking Wrestling Podcast is on IMDb, the Internet Movie Database. I
Mm-hmm.
have no idea how it got there.
I don't
I
either,
didn't.
but I'll take it.
Yep, I'll take it. And so now I want to go. You're not on IMDb.
It's like,
Peasants, you need to listen to us.
yeah.
Oh, and in fact, my daughter actually gave me some advice, because now that we're on IMDb, that I'll tell you offline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something that we should probably do. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Um, but I can't think of any other news.
I can't either.
You know,
It's been a slow couple of weeks for wrestling, really.
yeah.
As
I mean,
far as
which we,
news wise, but just news wise, it's been
yeah,
kind of slow.
yeah. I mean, yeah, because the bloodline's still going. They haven't
Yeah.
lost.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I kind of want to see the tag team titles drop, but I don't know who I want to see them drop to. I don't want to see them go back to the New Day. The New Day are now the NXT tag team champions, which I don't get
Yep.
that. Well, they've held all of them now, I
Yeah,
guess.
they wanted the triple crown basically.
Yep. But to me, when somebody goes back to NXT to get it, I'm like, you look like a bully, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I
It's like
mean,
I'm a main roster guy, but I need to come get this title because I hadn't won it yet.
yeah, it's like, you know what? I have won, I have a couple World Series rings, but I want to go back to the minor league and win that championship.
Yeah, yeah.
So to me, it just doesn't make any sense. Um, but I guess we will go ahead and wrap this up.
Okay.
And, until next Thursday. And sorry, folks,
Mhm.
it's a little bit shorter of an episode, but it's been, oh, and this was actually a subject that was weighing on mine and Dwaylen's mind,
Mhm.
but besides that, not a whole lot,
No,
so,
not
but
really.
but if you're watching wrestling, you kind of know, I mean, yeah, there's a little bit, there may be some drama going on in AEW, MJF, he's doing really good, I
Mhm.
think.
Yeah, he's
But
doing pretty well.
yeah, there's rumors CM Punk he may be trying to go to WWE. I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
The same thing with Sasha Banks. I'll believe it when I see that she's working for somebody like AEW.
Yeah.
Because we see everybody, Sasha Banks done with WWE. I have seen that headline.
Now it has been confirmed that she will be at Wrestle Kingdom
Yes, now
uh
that one,
in January, and it's supposed to start a program with her and the IWGP Women's Champion, which happens to be Kyrie Sane.
okay, that'll
Yeah,
be pretty good then.
that should be excellent.
Um, I did see a rumor they're saying that there may be somebody opening their forbidden door at the Royal Rumble for the men.
I did see that too, but I'll believe that when I see it.
Yep. Um, yeah, I mean, I've seen other rumors, but I don't want to, we don't speculate on rumors,
Hmm.
because that's one thing I will say bad about the wrestling world on the internet. You see rumors flying all over the place.
Oh yeah, and some of the most ridiculous stuff, and it's like you really took the time to type that out, knowing how stupid it sounds.
Yeah, so look here, clickbait. I'm not going with
Exactly.
that. So,
Yeah.
but until we can actually record again, my friend,
All right.
good night, God bless, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. God bless.